Welcome to your nutrition mindset training. Today we're going to talk about what you are afraid of. So you might be asking yourself, like, what does this have to do with nutrition? I have found that the majority of our struggles with nutrition have to do with our mindset towards nutrition, which is why I spend so much time talking about mindset. And so today we're going to talk about what are you afraid of? And I'm not talking about are you afraid of fish or nuts or not getting to eat cookies. I'm talking about like in your core, what are you afraid of that then impacts your nutrition decisions? Based on research that I've read, my workings as a coach, my own personal journey, I found that typically people are afraid of four things: power, control, comfort, and approval. And when I say they're afraid of them, I mean they are afraid of losing control, losing power, losing comfort, and losing approval. And so the question to ask yourself is, okay, how does that relate to my nutrition? Well, I want you to think about a time in your life when you've been really, really stressed. You're feeling anxious internally. How do your nutritional choices become impacted by what you're feeling internally? Do you tend to stress eat, maybe things that really aren't going to fuel your body well? Or stress eat in that you just ate a huge meal, you're not hungry, but you're stressed, and so you're eating some more. Or maybe you don't eat when you're stressed. I know lots of people who that they get really, really stressed and they just don't eat at all. Their brain and their body kind of shuts down. Or maybe you're with a group of people and you don't really want to eat or drink something, but you kind of feel like you need to. In all of those situations, there is an internal motivation that's going on that is impacting your external decision. For example, in the situation where maybe you're stressed and you're eating in an effort to cope with your stress, most likely, like, you have some fear of losing some comfort, and eating makes you feel some comfort. In the situation where maybe you're stressed and you're not eating anything at all, it could be that you're so busy that you're forgetting, or it could be an effort to maintain some control. You can't control your external factors at that moment, but you can sure control what you eat. Maybe someone there, it feels good to have power over your food choices, whether it's power to be like, I'm going to eat whatever I want, or power to be like, I'm not going to eat that. Or maybe you're with a group of people and you're not hungry, or you don't want to drink a certain thing, whether it's a soda or an alcoholic beverage, but you don't want people to think you're weird or something, and so you do anyways. I bring this up not because any of the things are wrong in and of themselves, but they're just really good for us to be aware of because they do have an impact on our nutrition journey. Because the truth is, you can know the right things to do and research and the meals to eat and the snacks to eat. You can know all of the right things, but until you become aware of your internal state and then make some changes internally, it's not really going to matter how much you know. And so I want to give you some takeaways as far as how to identify what you're afraid of and how that's impacting you. I just want you to sit back and reflect. And it might take a couple of days. On a day where all of a sudden it feels like, oh gosh, I haven't eaten anything today, or a stressful situation comes up, ask yourself, what am I wanting right now? What am I afraid of right now? What am I afraid of losing? Power, control, comfort, approval? Maybe after the end of a long, crazy, stressful day, if you find yourself kind of making some trips to the refrigerator, ask yourself, what am I needing right now? That's something that we've talked about before. But also, what am I afraid of losing right now? Am I afraid of losing power, control, comfort, approval? So what I'm essentially trying to get you to do is develop some mindfulness in regards to your internal state and how that affects your nutrition and eating habits. So the first thing is to just ask the why question, all right? Develop some mindfulness. And then the second thing is I want you to see if you can establish some patterns, develop an awareness and figure out what are some of the triggers that maybe are triggering those fears within you, triggering the stress, triggering the fears. So develop some mindfulness, pay attention to some patterns. And then the third thing is make adjustments. And I have found that one of the best ways to make adjustments is to invite someone else into the process with you. So the example of that really stressful day, super stressful day, you ate a good dinner. There's really no reason that you should be feeling what I call kind of snacky jacky, but you are. We talked about what is your emotional need, but also now we're talking about what are you afraid of? And I would say Reach out to someone that you trust and you feel safe with and communicate to them. I'm feeling stressed. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm feeling sad, right? I would love some support. Super uncomfortable to do, requires a lot of courage, but what I have found is that it is a huge step in the growth process, especially as it relates to our nutrition. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Know that I'm proud of you and know that this is not a sprint. It is a marathon. We're not going to figure this out overnight, but it's good to start asking these hard questions now.